We now have 14 weights. Now while this is heating up, I'm going to explain a little bit the difference between your aluminum complex and your lithium complex greases versus our grease. Your aluminum and lithium complex greases basically are about 85 to 90% soap, and then the soap is just a carrier for the additive package. Once these greases get hot, the additives can separate from the grease or the soap that is carrying the additives. The drip point on a lot of greases is somewhere around 350 to 400 degrees. So once they get heated up like that, the grease will leach out and you'll get separation of the additives. Power Up Thixogrease comes from the word, derived from the word thixotropic. Thixotropic means the ability to go from a liquid to a solid, back and forth, without losing consistency. It's also carried by calcium sulfonate. It's actually an over-based calcium sulfonate that can go from extreme heat to extreme cold without losing the consistency that it is right out of the tube. The drip point on Power Up Thixogrease is 570 degrees. And so we have seen our grease actually last 3 times longer in the bearing as some of your other greases. So it takes about 1 tube of Thixogrease to last the distance of 3 tubes of the other grease. Another thing that Thixogrease will do, will it take heat. You've already seen the red grease here is spun off. The Thixogrease is still protecting. We're running in excess of 400 degrees. We're about 432 degrees right now. Another thing Thixogrease can handle is extreme contamination. But before I contaminate it with water, I just want to shut this machine off real quick. You can see how hot that bearing is. I'm going to lift this up, and I'm just going to set this thing up here, and I want you to the camera to pan in on that, and I want you to see the surface of that bearing. It's completely covered in Thixogrease. Now, one of the proprietary ingredients at Thixogrease is our boundary lubricant. We also have retention agents. Power Up has a magnetic charge to metal surfaces, so when you get to extreme heat or high RPMs, the Thixogrease is right there covering the bearing. It's right there at the point of contact. At the bird's eye view, I'm looking right on top of the race, and all the grease is exactly in the center of the race at the point of contact. And that's the way we were able to keep those moving metals apart. We have good advanced fluid technology. We have good quality extreme pressure agents, and we have our proprietary boundary lubricants that work under severe loads without getting that metal-to-metal contact and that excessive wear. Now, I'm going to put this back on here, and we're going to demonstrate one other quality of Thixogrease, and that's its resistance to water wash. We're still running at 14 weights, which is double the amount of pressure that we had with the lithium complex grease. We're going to add a cup here, and we're going to contaminate with some water. Now, resistance to water wash is very important in the marine industry, and it's also very important in wheel bearings, boat trailers, and things like that. In rainy situations or situations where you're running through water, when that grease comes in contact with water, you don't want that grease to separate. You don't want it to run out of the bearing. So let's add a little water and see what happens. Virtually no change at all. Power Up Thixogrease has excellent rust and corrosion inhibitors, excellent resistance to water wash, high temperature capability, high dropping point at 570 degrees, and a load carrying capacity of 200,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Power Up Thixogrease is one of the best greases on the planet. Ford, Chrysler, General Motors, Boeing, and Bell Helicopter, Owens Corning, all Fortune 500 companies rely on Power Up Thixogrease to protect their bearings in their manufacturing facilities. The four-wheel drive shift on the flies the actuators are packed with Power Up Thixogrease, And the Boeing and Bell helicopters and the rotor head assembly are also equipped with their bearings packed with power-up Thixogrease, because it is the best protection that modern technology can provide. Thank you very much.